Hi, I'm Emily Byway, and this is Winchester News Online, the podcast. Today I am joined with Kieran Tibbert, and we are discussing all things Hampshire, from a silent disco in the cathedral to the train station bridge in Winchester finally reopening.
Finally.
Hi Kieran.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Amazing. So give me a little bit of a rundown on this bridge reopening.
Yeah, so there's been a railway bridge that has reopened. It's St Paul's Bridge, which is just outside the railway station. It's been closed for months, being repaired. It's been delayed multiple times due to defects that have been found and damage that Network Rail have found while they've been replacing the fencing. It was originally scheduled to be finished back in December, but then it was postponed again to the end of January, and then it was postponed again to the start of February, and it's only just been reopened to both pedestrians and now vehicles as well.
So this whole repairs was just based on some fencing?
Yeah, pretty much. They went to replace the fencing. The old green one was installed in 2020 after there was a tragic death, and then people branded the green one as quite ugly and a bit run down. So they went to replace the fencing with some new taller black railings, and they've also found that there's defects in the parapet wall as well, which is built in the Victorian era. So it's quite an old bridge, but from the station platform it does look quite stunning to look down the railway.
Oh, amazing. So with this bridge, like, how difficult was it for people to get to and from where they were going? Like the train station, I tried to get down there. I had to run for my train because I was going to be late because I forgot that the bridge was still closed.
Yeah, it caused a lot of frustration for quite a lot of people, myself included, because obviously it's along one of the main routes people use, like especially commuters and students, to get from university to the railway station, because obviously otherwise people have to divert, like either down the hill past the railway inn and then through the car park, or down to nearly where the high street is, down by the Westgate pub, and then all the way back up. So it really does reduce the time, and with the new crossing that's now on Romsey Road as well, it sort of makes sense to have that bridge open so people can safely walk to the station without having to walk along main roads and stuff. So it was quite a time consuming to have that to have the blockage in place.
Yeah, and 4 months compared to the 1 month they predicted, it's quite out there.
Yeah, it wasn't ideal. Network Rail did obviously apologise for the delays, but at least the bridge is now repaired and hopefully back to it's in a good state.
So now with this bridge repaired, do you think people will start to think about commuting a bit more?
Yeah, you'd hope so, because obviously having the bridge back means they can walk to and from the uni quite quickly, meaning they won't be late for their lectures and stuff anymore. It should also encourage them to walk a bit more, because obviously when that route is shut, you just expect to get the bus a bit more, because obviously it's been a bit of a cold couple months. The worst couple months for a bridge like that to actually be shut, because it means it's harder to walk to and from the station quickly, so you've got to spend more time out in the cold and the rain. And yeah, so it's more of a useful connection, so hopefully it will encourage people to sort of like walk a bit more and get out. And to be fair, the bridge is quite nice. It's only a one-way street for traffic anyway, so it's quite a safe bridge. There's obviously a cycle lane on it as well, and the views from the station are quite nice as well. So if you want to look down see what people are doing getting on and off the trains, it's quite fun.
Yeah, I guess it would also help people coming into Winchester, and they could visit events at the cathedral, just like the silent disco.
Yeah, that was a pretty good one.
Yeah.
Tell me a bit about that.
So the cathedral often have installations. They're kind of well known for showcasing artwork. It's quite a historic landmark as itself, but with all the different artwork going in, it really invites people in. So their most recent installation is 3 sculptures of sperm whales created by an artist called Tessa Campbell Fraser. Her artwork is to look into the way that animals and humans can communicate. She says that it's something that scientific research is really looking into at the moment, and so she's created these sculptures to kind of focus on that. So with that, the cathedral has also tried to include more events surrounding the art. So there's been events like on Valentine's Day, there was a date night under the sea kind of vibe, with the Wales above you. They had the silent disco, which I think has to be one of the biggest events they held. There were hundreds of people. They had a kids-only event or kid-friendly event, and then an adults-only event. And it was so popular. I went down and had a look, and it was just amazing.
Which one did you go to?
So I went to the family-friendly one, and went down and like did some reporting on it. I heard different people's opinions on what they thought about it. But I did leave as the adults were joining the queue for the event, and there were so many people. I honestly think that one would have been busier than the family-friendly one.
What sort of music were they like playing? Because it's quite a unique event, don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely. It was different genres, and because there were people from all ages, like some of the kids were a good like 2-3 years old, and then there were people with their grandparents there. So you know that kind of spans across a lot of time and music genre and just the like progression of music. So they had pop. There was a lot of Taylor Swift. Like, you wouldn't even believe when Taylor Swift came on, you could just hear everyone singing.
Swiftageddon taking over.
Absolutely. The Eras tour was over, but not for people in Winchester. It came back. So yeah, it was just kind of like a lot of pop music, to be fair. I think it was mainly pop, but different eras of pop, which was quite nice to see.
Yeah, I mean, who says Winchester needs another nightclub when you've got things like this happening in a cathedral? So
that is true, but I did hear about the nightclub coming back in Winchester.
Yeah, there was talks about that, and I don't know what stage it's currently at, but I did see that the old vodka nightclub did actually apply for a license in premises license for late night activities and entertainment. Yeah. So that is progressing slowly in the background, but nothing official yet.
Do you think Winchester would need a nightclub?
I don't know. I mean, you don't really see Winchester as a place to go clubbing. Like, you don't really look at a map and think, oh, I want to go clubbing in Winchester. It doesn't scream clubbing. It screams like pubs or architecture or just somewhere quite quiet, local, that's a city, that's quite nice. It doesn't scream like a massive clubbing central. It's not really like your Southampton or your Cardiff or your Bristol sort of like central core place to go out on a night out.
Do you think that's like the demographic of people living here though?
I reckon so, because obviously it has a lot of students with the university, but the general demographic, I believe, is a lot older. So yeah. I suppose that kind of contributes to them not wanting a nightclub. But of course, when you have stunning events like Bop every week, I'm sure it makes up for it. How long do you reckon it'll take until they start hosting Bop in the cathedral?
Oh, now I think that would take quite a lot.
Quite a lot.
Yeah. You know, it is still the place to be calm and reflective, and I'm not sure the people of Winchester would want all those students walking back through town, through housing estates on a Wednesday night.
I was going to say, it caused a bit of a disturbance. But
absolutely, and it would cause a disturbance to the students' bank accounts.
I'm sure it'd be quite fun.
The amount of food they could buy on the way back
would be crazy.
It would.
It would be. Do the cathedral have any other like events coming up or as such?
Yeah, so there's another installation coming. They do love an art installation there. So they've got the Lux Moralis storytelling exhibition coming back. They had it last year. I went down. It was amazing. It was fascinating. Last year it was about the crown and coronation, and you could walk through the cathedral, and it was all a light show, like projected on the walls of the cathedral, showing basically the timeline of monarchs in England.
That sounds intriguing.
It was amazing, and like it was purple and like yellow, very regal colours. There were parts of the cathedral that were like lit up literally as a whole crown, and it was huge. And then there were bits of like a scroll, and it had like all of the names on it. It was fascinating. So hopefully they'll bring back the crown and coronation.
That sounds intriguing, because I remember last year they had, not last year, I think it's back in 2023, they had the Lux Moralis there with the theme was poppies. It was around the Remembrance time, and I remember going, and it was just absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
Like everyone just standing in the main section of the cathedral. It's probably got an actual name, I don't know what it's called. But everyone just standing there and just seeing this whole like light display just light up every corner of the of the room. It was just stunning.
Yeah, I think a light show is so nice to look at from the outside of the cathedral as well, like through the stained glass window. Just looks insane.
Visually, it's definitely up there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice.
So with, we've kind of touched on the events in the cathedral, the prospects of a new nightclub opening, and now with the train being a little bit more accessible, have you heard of any of the events in Southampton?
No, I haven't. But I know there's plenty of venues to choose from, so I'm sure there's quite a lot going on. Like what's going on in the Mayflower? Do you know anything about that?
The Mayflower is packed for the next 2 months.
What's going on there?
Ian Sterling's coming.
Wow.
And I know he's a funny guy, but from Love Island, that would honestly drag me down there.
Love Island.
It's only just finished, but I'd go back. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's Ian Sterling, Hamilton the musical's coming.
Nice.
One of the biggest musicals.
What is your favourite musical, Emily?
Oh, that is a really, really good question. I'd probably say maybe like Dear Evan Hansen.
Ooh, that's a niche one,
It's so good. I think that was at the Mayflower not long ago as well, to be fair. What's your favourite?
Oh, I really like Les Miserables.
The songs in Les Mis
They are just
untouchable.
Unreal.
So good.
I saw it live a couple of years ago, and it's just stunning.
It's one that's been around for years as well.
Absolutely.
Years. So yeah, there's so many events at the Mayflower. Like, I don't even know how to start. I feel like the Theatre Royal in Winchester, they've had quite a big month of January. They had Chris McCausland coming.
Yeah, he runs Strictly.
Yeah. Speaking of, in Portsmouth, Amy Dowden is going down there, and they're doing like their Strictly tour.
Oh wow. Nice.
So yeah, there's so much in Hampshire going on with like different people that you can go and see.
The entertainment hub of the South.
It absolutely is.
Apart from Bournemouth.
Why? What's happening in Bournemouth?
Nothing, because it's Bournemouth. Bournemouth has got a lot going on as well, but obviously it's in Dorset, so it's not Hampshire. So.
Of course. Only Fools and Horses, the musical, is coming to Southampton as well. There's just so many different things. I know you're a fan of the Beatles.
Am I?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The Mercy Beatles are going to the Mayflower. Just so many different people. The Spitfire Girls, lots of people. Also, did you hear about the Milestones Museum in Basingstoke?
No, I didn't. What's going on there?
So basically, they do different events almost every month.
Mm-hmm.
So like today is Victorians Home Education Day at Milestones. So people who are home educated go down to Milestones and you can learn all about the Victorian era. Over the Easter holidays, they have so many different activities for children, but also family.
Wow.
They sometimes have Lego events. It's crazy.
Sounds great. We've covered quite a lot, but Hampshire is always ongoing with plenty of news, and I think that's all we've got time for today. But we've covered quite a lot, and there's lots to keep an eye on. But
it is. I'm sure there'll be more to talk about next week.
Definitely. And if you want to go and walk across that new bridge, then feel free.